Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second live session for Portfolio 2. Rather than a slideshow, this one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be focusing strictly on materials and ideas that I believe will help you do better on your Week 4 Market Analysis Report. You'll find your Week 4 Market Analysis Report open on FSO right now. So, as promised for this live session, the emphasis is going to be on using case studies to get better at conclusions and recommendations. And I also have some things that I'm going to share with you that I hope will help you get a little bit better at the areas where our students do well, but could do a little bit better. Those involve the very first and very last items in that market analysis report. And I am referring to the executive summary and the recommendations. So that's what we're going to be looking at. And so let's go back to the beginning now, and let's start with the case studies. Now, when you signed up for the Go to training, I provided a PDF of 2 case studies to choose from. And this is what we do with our campus class as well. So if you're an online student listening right now, you're getting a little flavor of what we do in the classroom. So one case study is about a person who is very good at getting venture capital money for online social media startups or retail sites. And the other one is about a game development company and how they should take advantage of the exploding mobile economy. So here is the first case study again, and this is really focused on an individual named Jason Goldberg. Again, very, very good at getting money, but not great at spending it in a wise manner. And all of his sites, and you see them underlined here, Jobster, Fab, Hem, they all wind up blowing up and being sold off at a huge discount. And yet he's still able to get more venture capital money. His most recent venture, I'll show it to you, is a website called Peppo.com. Here it is. This is sort of akin to a Yelp or a Foursquare. From what I can gather, you can see right here that these are travel, holiday, and foodie tips directly from locals. So, there's, some value in it that it's directly from people who know best. So that's what his most recent venture is. The question posed here is, how can you make a market-based recommendation designed to help Peppo succeed? It may be a great idea, but as evidenced by all these materials here that hopefully you had a chance to look at, Jason Goldberg is not very good at managing the business once it's up and running. He's too flighty. He changes courses of direction. He's not wise or efficient with the money expenditure. So since this course is called Business and Marketing, and since we're focused a lot on the marketing aspects of business, what we were looking for was some way that you could make a recommendation for this gentleman or for the business at large that would help them succeed, right? Now, here's where something important comes in. We want the recommendations to be SMART. And I'll just remind you what SMART means. It means specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, okay? Recommendations are based on conclusions. The conclusions is the analysis part. So when you're writing conclusions in your market analysis report, rather than just regurgitating information that you've already gone over in your key findings, instead what you want to do is you want to kind of massage it in your brain and use that conclusion section to state new realizations that are unique to you. You're the analyst. This is the analysis part. What does all that data in your findings section mean? Okay. So based on all your research, you may have concluded that Jason is very good at getting venture capital money, but not very good at staying on task and not very good at being able to spend it wisely. So your SMART recommendation might be something on the order of this: specific. Find a group of 6 to 8 advisors and keep them on speed dial. Measurable. The number of people that you want on this advisory board and the specific industries from which they come. Attainable. There are lots of small business owners that have successfully built and sold off their businesses and are available for consultation, particularly if you're in certain parts of the country, like if you're in the Bay Area or Silicon Valley, or if you are in New York City. Right? But there are many of these expert people who are available to advise. Relevant. All right. The relevance of this is that you have people who maybe have made the same mistakes before and they know their way out of the hole. That's why you want the advisory board. And then time bound, make sure that you have a deadline for assembling this advisory board, right? The advisory board may also specifically be in control of how much money can be allocated at one time. That way, maybe you don't go off in this wild direction and spend money on something that was not part of the original plan. Okay? So there you have it, a SMART recommendation for Peppo.com, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Here's another example. Now, this case study was what you want to pretend that you're the marketing director for, or the product developer for Electronic Arts, which is a big game development company with deep pockets. And they have hundreds of titles. Now, mobile gaming is outstripping traditional console gaming or PC gaming. And right about now, 2017, 2018, it's actually going to overtake and be the major platform for gaming. So how is a large company that already has hundreds of titles going to take advantage of this? Okay, so here are the articles that hopefully you had a chance to read, and here is the EA website that you hopefully had a chance to peruse. Here's the Electronic Arts website right now. So I'm going to show you an example of a SMART recommendation that a student actually wrote. Remember, you do the conclusions first. You look at all of the findings, you analyze them, and you come up with a conclusion that is derived from, this is a realization that is derived from all of these findings. Here's what the student's SMART recommendation looked like after they concluded what needed to be done. Okay. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So what they propose is to create a team that addresses the ability to use augmented reality for a particular mobile platform, the iOS platform. Now, this is a new addition. This is not something, if you'll notice, that I suggested in this case study. I said nothing about augmented reality or virtual reality. So what the student has done is they've gone ahead and injected their own conclusion as to what needs to happen next to take best advantage of mobile platform gaming in the future. Okay? Specifically, put together a team that can address AR for the iOS platform. Here's the measurable part. They propose that one game be completed and that can be approved by quality control associates at Electronic Arts. The achievable part, they say that the right-sized team of skilled individual can achieve this task. The relevant part is that it is of utmost importance to be able to take advantage of the mobile economics because they are outstripping tabletop economics. Right? So the relevance is to finish an AR product and expose Electronic Arts to a burgeoning marketplace that is mostly untouched up until now. And what we're talking about is augmented reality and virtual reality in the mobile space. And then finally, the time-oriented or time-bound part of the SMART recommendation is to complete the mobile app by the iPhone 8 release date. Okay? So that's how you do a SMART recommendation. Once again, we focus on this because this is one of the areas where, good students maybe come up a little bit short on the specificity and the detailed nature of what a recommendation should look like. It's very easy to say, well, you should invest in augmented reality and mobile platforms, but that doesn't really give your client a starting place. The best recommendations are future-oriented action steps. And even if your recommendation doesn't wind up being exactly what the client adopts, it gives them a place to start talking to each other about it. And they can make the pieces of your suggestion fit into their own operations best. The timeline, the resources, the people, the money, they'll make it work. Or it will get them thinking about a whole nother direction that they could go. But it still means that you are responsible for that conversation. Okay, so that's what a good analyst does. And you can do that by giving them smart recommendations. Now, I want to share with you a little bit more. And you'll remember at the beginning that we talked about the executive summary. That's the item that comes at the very beginning. Again, we're talking about the market analysis report that's due in week 4, and this is the report that you put together with all the preliminary research that you've so painstakingly put together in week 1 and week 2. Now, again, great students, good writers, very smart, but they're just a little bit short of what a good executive summary should look like. Even if you're looking at the examples that I've prepared for you that other students have done in the recent past, you'll see right here, student example, Great papers, A papers, right? A+ papers, but still a little bit short of what an ideal executive summary should look like. So I want to help you with that. Okay, this is an example of an executive summary, a good executive summary. I want you to notice, that every single part of the paper is represented in the executive summary. Now, you don't write this first, you write it last after you've completed the paper. A really good reason for that is that you don't know what you're going to write until you're done writing it. Then you go back and you executive summary what you just wrote. I invite you to pause the recording at this point and give this a good read so that you can really absorb what a good executive summary looks like. Now, by contrast, this is what a not so great executive summary looks like. You'll notice that it's missing most of the separate pieces of the paper, so it doesn't really outline for the audience what's coming. It should always outline for the audience what's coming and include some detail as to what the findings, the conclusions, and the recommendations actually were. So once again, I invite you to pause the recording, give this a good read, go back to the good example, and have an understanding of what the difference is between a good executive summary and a bad executive summary. Once again, let me draw your attention to the materials that are available for you in the Week 4 Market Analysis Report. As always, you get a template. This template has all of the parts of the paper that you're expected to write. It includes 2 student examples so you can get a variety of ideas of how the paper looks best and should be strung together logically. As always, a detailed rubric. This PDF is one that I've already shown you a piece of. This is the PDF in question. And there are some other materials here as well that I really invite you to take a close look at. They will help you write better. Right? They will help you understand the importance of a good market analysis report. And then finally, don't forget to scroll all the way to the end so that you can see in excruciating detail how we grade your paper. This will help you earn every single point that you have coming to you. Okay. I invite you to get in touch with your instructors if you have any questions at all or just want to brainstorm. We're here to help, and we want you to do your absolute best. Thanks for listening, and we hope you have a great day.